Ayo, just waiting on Forrest to get back from the store and then I'm down to play some League. I figured I'd try and just get back in the habit. Ah, no worries. Glad you're in a match and not waiting on me, honestly. I mean, like, wait after this match, because I don't think he's going to be at the store long. It's, like, down the street. If you don't mind. Thanks for saying hi. Keeps my stream chat active, which I think is, like, counted. Oh gosh, a couple days away from the art pen, and, like, my hand hurts so bad drawing. It's funny how that is. I'm sure these little mini streams actually just like really fuck my viewer count, but I guess like at the moment I don't mind. Cause like I feel like long term, just constantly streaming is not bad for me. Short term it is. Like if I just had to make affiliate in a few weeks, probably would be bad. Hey you! I was doing a quick sketch stream while I waited for you to come home. You ready to play League in a sec? Spacebound's in a match right now, so we could give it a sec. He'll just message me on Twitch when it's done, I guess. Okay. Well, there's no rush, like I said. Our peeps are in a match. Hey! We're just waiting on Spacebound to get out of a match now, Trey. Earlier I started the stream because Forrest was away doing groceries. Now we just waiting. Ooh, thank you, sushi! Yay! So this is what I've got with 12 minutes of this under my belt. No worries. This gives me time to do my art, Spacebound. Like, I just want to see how much I can do in whatever the time limit is. Time limits are good. So what's been up? Have there been any other scares, Lindsay? Like since the bomb went off? It's so crazy to even talk about like a bomb going off in our hometown. Like unsurprising if that sounds cynical, but still whack. They say they have like a suspect of like who did it. Some guy in Antioch. Did you read that part? Yeah, I mean it was like really freaky just after, I imagine. Person of interest, yeah. Oh, you should have seen the Nashville. I mean, I guess you were on the Nashville subreddit, but like the speculation in the thread has had like the mods losing their darn mind about the whole thing. Like everyone was at their wits' ends. But like they kept having to say like quit it with the racist speculation. Please so I guess like you could say I had racist speculation. I was sure it was a redneck the second I heard it was an RV bomb, but I mean, person of interest lives in Antioch, that's all I'm saying. Actually, I think like racially speaking, most domestic terrorism is white people. So, but yeah, I kept shouting loudly like it was a redneck bomb. So I guess I'm not very nice to rednecks who bomb things. So apparently there's a lot of like yeah, they were raging and they were talking about how it was like terrorists because in August Nashville's had like a really wacky year even for like 2020. In August, somebody wrote this like really long-winded, super racist rant about how Islam was going to like drop a nuke on Nashville of all places, and just like basically like frothing at the mouth shit. But yeah, so that's what the Reddit thread basically had a bunch of was speculation to that end. But it became pretty apparent once the internet went out. So it didn't immediately go out. Like not all the cell services went out. Yeah, everyone was super concerned that the Boston Marathon incident was going to happen again. Lindsay's right. Um, because like we Reddit. When I say we, I mean Reddit tracked down this dude who they thought like everyone was like, oh, like he's got a pointy nose. You could see that the bomber has a pointy nose and stuff like that. And then we like ended up making a guy commit suicide. So that wasn't cool. I say we like I was there, but like Reddit did it, so I'm on Reddit a lot. But yeah, basically there's a lot of fear of that. But it became pretty apparent like pretty quickly that AT&T was the target at around 12, which is like 6 hours after the initial bomb went off, crazily enough, because they had so many fail safes that like their internet they didn't shut things down until 12 in that building right where the bomb was. but then water started to flood in and they had to. Somebody put it really well. They said, like, listen, like, fail safes are great and all, but if, like, you go in and you say, like, hey, we need to shut the sprinklers down, there's no fire, and somebody's like, hey, you need to get away from the barricade, and, like, so none of the people who know what's going on inside the building and know, like, all right, you're gonna damage, like, the entire infrastructure of the East Coast, like, Lower East Coast, then, like, those fail safes mean nothing, which they didn't. Um, so yeah, that happened. Yeah, what did it sound like? People say they like felt the vibrations all the way in White House. But boom, thanks. I was really worried. This is gonna sound so petty, but I was super worried about my cat because he was home alone. Little Jasper, like he came out, he was weird all night. Yeah, that's so crazy. But a bunch of stuff about the person of interest, like he signed his house and like all his money over to this like 28-year-old woman in California, like not too long ago, and a bunch of other stuff. And Forrest was saying that that's like exactly what the Las Vegas shooter did right beforehand, was like sign off a lot of his worldly possessions. Like this, there's a difference between like a really planned crime and a crime of passion, and this like was clearly not even like whatever this was. I don't know. It's definitely like I feel like the pandemic worsened whatever condition this person was in, because it's clearly like he was not only in no state to function, he was in no state to function long enough to plan out shit that was super dysfunctional. I mean, but like if you think about like you're a person, he's 68, so he's like old. Um, you're living alone. Apparently, maybe it was his girlfriend, maybe not, but you've got like some young lady who you have a long distance relationship with, and you're going through an entire pandemic. Maybe you have like really extreme political views, and then you hear that, okay, like finally the government's going to send a relief check. But apparently he signed other stuff over last year too, so this may be like a long term shit he was doing. Yeah, and you hate 5G. Like it could be that, honestly, especially if this was domestic, like local terrorism. And then like you get the government finally agrees on a check for you, and it's $600, which is like not enough for your mortgage. You sign it over to some chick who can't afford the mortgage, or like maybe like otherwise. Yeah, that actually doesn't make sense, because if he had enough to sign over to someone to prevent seizure, then like he wasn't poor. I mean, he had an RV, I guess, but it was an old RV. That's how they found him. It was just like super distinctive. But yeah, the hating 5G thing's a good point. Like, there's so many conspiracy theories surrounding 5G. Anyway, it's possible that not even this guy knew how much damage he was going to end up doing when he bombed the AT&T building. It's unlikely though, just given that it's like kind of a well-known target. I was telling Spacebound this, Trey, but like that building's on a nuclear target list, because what it basically did was take out like the entire trunk of network like network infrastructure in Middle Tennessee, Kentucky, like just like freaking everywhere. It was like an actually super effective attack. A single strike, like no human toll except for apparently the guy who did it. Like just a really crazily efficient way of taking out communications. Like if this had been an actual first strike from like a foreign power or like really extremist group, it would have been super effective. Been like I don't know, like bubble beam on a fire Pokemon, super effective. The whole thing was just bonkers. Anyway, yeah, it's actually really freaky. But like what's amazing is that if it was just this like really nutty guy and he hates 5G, what a thing to fall like accidentally land on. What a discovery like enemies and just like people who want to secure our shit like now have at their fingertips. It's just like wow, that's all it takes. Knock out all communication between emergency services for like 2 days. Oop, that stinks. What are you gonna lose it to? Hey, Space Mountain's gonna lose his match soon.
Okay.
Just so you know.
I'll be ready then.
Alright. Oh my gosh, we have to get Lindsay, frickin' Portal.
You should get him 80s too. It's on sale for $20.
Yeah. I'm listening to Portal music right now.
Will you buy that stuff for him?
Yeah.
From both of us?
Yeah, for sure. He's on stream right now. I mean, like, listening. So he'll know it's from both of us. Thank you. What's the bot lane comp? Report them for inting. It's not like it's uncommon. Like, I believe they're intentionally feeding just because you mentioned it. It's so scummy to intentionally feed. Like, why don't you just, like, surrender that raid or anything but do that? Like, why don't you just try and practice while at a disadvantage if you're gonna be losing and you know you're losing? Why feed? All right, you ready to play? All right. Wow, they got reported by everybody. That's hard to get done. All right. I'm opening up Leap. I'm gonna keep doodling while we queue though. Y'all want to invite me? That sucks so bad. Honestly, you have to like get your money's worth after that chat ban that you got. You kind of gotta like get back at the world. Also, I've like had some pretty reportable games. Like when Lindsay Liu was spending, it's Christmas. I swear to goodness, it's Christmas. It's like these people have nothing better to do now than just fuck up lanes and be a total jackass. It's because none of the people like Christmas. I mean, I know I don't. Yay, an invite. No, it wasn't an invite. What the heck? Unread messages? I'm joining call for League. I'm like, yeah. All right, you want to know like what's curing me of my superiority complex a little, and it's only happening in the recent week. I'm reading like a really good fan fiction by somebody who's a League player about League, and it's hello, and like it's so well written. I can't. I have to be like, wow. Like I keep having this moment where it's like, wow, a fan of League of Legends wrote this. Sorry, I was talking to the streamer saying that I watched the. I'm reading a fan fiction that makes me respect League players a little bit more. Just the idea that anyone could write something this good and play League. Like, my mind keeps coming to it. I'm like, wow, I'm really biased against League players. It's about Darius and Lux. It's a romance, but it's like actually really good, and it's like so far non-romantic, which is why I've been enjoying it. Probably, I really hate romance once it gets written poorly. It has Darius in it. I know. That's exactly what I was like, haha, this should be good, but not like in a completely sarcastic way. And now I'm just like, wow, this is good. The Dare Bear. So, who's making the room and who's inviting me to it? Somebody sent me a message saying, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thanks. On leak. Thanks. I don't know. Nobody I know on a name basis. Tell you what. Hey, Forrest, are you making the room?
I can. Sorry, they changed their Riot account system, so I had to set up a new account.
I'm sorry, they changed the the whole thing?
No, like your league username is now a Riot Games username.
They did that to me a long time ago.
They had done it to me, and then like I changed my username, and I was trying to use that, and then they just notified me that they had done it again.
Oh, that doesn't make any
I have to go
sense.
back to what was my old username.
That doesn't make any sense.